We are thrilled to have with us now from Harvard University Executive Director of the Dubai Initiative, Ashraf Hegazy. Ashraf, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
The emotion, I just want to know, I talked to El Arian, I talked to Fadel Guide of OPCO. This is a unique thing. You are a son of a senior Egyptian diplomat. You have had every advantage. Your thoughts right now?
I'm thrilled that the people there can finally have the kind of opportunities that I have here in the US and that a lot of people around the world take for granted. But the people in Egypt have never been able to select their own leader, ever. And this is truly historic, not just for them, but for Arabs all over the region, because they've also, other than Lebanon and Palestine, Arabs have never had the opportunity to fire their government, select their ideology or the direction of their country until today.
You are in charge of the Dubai Initiative at Harvard, your degree in psychology from there, and with the Kennedy School. Your idea on the projection of this protest across the rest of the Middle East, are you optimistic it can be contained here, or are we going to be in 2 weeks focused on another nation, Algeria, as Charlie Rose mentioned, or Bahrain, as Andrew Davidson mentioned?
It's not going to be 2 weeks. I think in the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to see movements that are at a similar level in a number of countries. Wow. I think Algeria is certainly up there, Yemen, perhaps Sudan, Morocco. We've seen a lot of unrest in Syria, some in Jordan. So there are plenty of countries where the population is very unhappy with the regimes that are ruling them, and they've been expressing that unhappiness. The regimes have been trying to offer some concessions, but they really haven't done enough, and it's possible that at this point a number of governments cannot possibly do enough to appease their people. Your
relationship on the military to the Egyptian people, will it be like Turkey where the military after a period steps aside, or will there be a different calculus for Egypt?
I think the military will have to have a unity transitional government. It is people will accept the military heading the government, but there have to be representatives from the different opposition groups, from the intellectual elite who are part of the governing process and who help create the procedures for democratic elections. But people won't put up with a military dictatorship for long. They want democracy, they want to select their own leaders, and they expect that the military will deliver that in probably 6 to 12 months.
Your counsel to the administration in Washington, you've got a unique perspective. They'll have a lot of advisors. What's the Hegazy doctrine, if you will, for the Obama administration?
Ensure that the civilians are involved in the transitional government. Ensure that this does not become a military dictatorship, because otherwise people are not going to go home. People on the street have made it very clear they want to select their own representatives, and to be honest, they're not sure what the future of the country looks like, but they want their representatives to sit together, create a coalition, and create a plan that they agree on in order to move into the future. And the military can't do that for the people. They can lead the process, but it has to be it has to involve all factions within society.
Will we see, just in 1 minute here, Dr. Hegazy, will we see capital flows out of Egypt? What will the elites do with their capital?
On the contrary, so the Gulf countries have already committed to not reduce their capital inflows into Egypt. I also know that the government is planning to maintain, to cap in the exchange rate at £6 to the dollar, so we won't have runaway inflation. There will certainly be upward pressure on inflation because of the increase in wages that are being demanded in the short term. But I also think the tourist industry will pick up again, and the Suez Canal is expected to be stable. So I don't think that we will see a lot of capital leaving the country, and I think people will quickly realize there is serious opportunity for growth. There's huge upside and very limited downside. Yeah. You know, if you want to get in on the ground floor, the next 3 to 6 months will be the time to do that.
Very good. Ashraf Hegazy, thank you so much. With Harvard and the Dubai initiative.